Oh, wow. So then I realized, yeah, Appetite for Destruction. This is the band I was watching just the other night. And I was
Mm.
thinking to myself, oh, man. So then I got excited. And then I started thinking, I got to get these guys on my show. Because I'm such an admirer of what you guys do. And not everybody can do it, you know.
Well,
Not every.
it's you know, it's actually there are a lot of people that look at tribute bands, and people will have mixed um,
Yeah,
opinions about
yeah.
tribute bands. Some people really enjoy it because it just allows them to be able to enjoy their favorite bands, and not pay these exorbitant prices that they would have to pay to see the original, because it has become so expensive. When I was a kid in high school, this is it goes back to like the mid '70s, because I'm pretty up there. But when I was a kid back in the mid '70s in high school, it was kind of a common practice to uh, kind of sneak peanut butter and jelly sandwich from home, and then
Uh-huh.
take the lunch money that your mom and dad gives you, and pocket it and save it up. And
Uh-huh.
then when your favorite band, like I got to see Pink Floyd, I got to see Queen, uh, Thin Lizzy was opening for them. I got to see all these
Mm.
iconic bands from saving my lunch money to be able to go see these bands. And it was, I learned to do that from my friends when I would go to
Mm.
school, and they'd say that's what they were doing. And that's how cheap it was to be able to see these bands. You could basically take your lunch money and save it up,
Yeah.
and go to buy tickets to see them in concert. And back in those days, it was so fun because part of the experience was standing in line at the place to buy tickets,
Uh-huh.
because that was kind of a social event in itself. Because all the all the girls are there checking out the guys. All the guys are there checking out the girls. Everybody's standing in line for a common reason, for the love of a particular band, with
Yeah.
excitement and anticipation. The endorphins and everybody is high. So it
Uh-huh.
was always, it was kind of a social experience, just
Uh-huh.
standing in line, buying tickets for your favorite band. But now you fast forward to nowadays, and to see those same bands, you have to literally bust out your credit card and make monthly payments to be able to afford
Mm.
tickets,
Yeah.
because the tickets are so outrageous. And high school kids don't nowadays don't aren't able to experience these kind of things. So a tribute band kind of fulfills that need for people to be able to still be able to afford to see their favorite bands, and kind of experience it, and still be able to afford it. Um, and for me, that's it's kind of humbling
Mm.
to be in that kind of position, because, to be honest with you, I didn't think that I would be doing this at this stage of my life. I thought I would be like most other people my age, sitting at home twiddling my thumbs,
Mm.
talking about the old days, when I used to play in original bands and stuff like that. And it's to me, pinch me, because would I rather be doing not that much and just talking about the old days, or would I rather be dressing up like one of my favorite bands and playing still playing the kind of music that I used to play back in the 80s, even though it's not my own. Give me a choice of not doing anything and doing this, I'll take this.
Yeah,
To me, but there's going to be some people that, they're gonna, oh, how could you, do that? You can't even be yourself. It really doesn't have anything to do with not being able to be yourself. It has everything to do with being able to still have an excuse to get out there and play, and play in front of big, appreciative audiences, and still do what what your heart desires to do. Because a musician, being a musician, whether you're doing a tribute band, whether you're doing a cover band, whether you're doing original, music is in your DNA. Musicians are a different breed of person, not better, but not lower, or just a different breed of person. That when you take music away from them, there's kind of a hole. There's kind of this thing, an emptiness. And when you give a musician a choice to go, is kind of what they call go back to the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's a baseball term, for minor league players going to the back up, stepping up to the show.
Yes.
When you're given a choice, you're going to take it. And for me, it just kind of evolved into this. But I've totally embraced it. I have part of my DNA that I can't do anything and do it just kind of half-hearted. I always have to put a lot into it, and it's really challenging to do what I'm doing right now, especially when because the higher level you go, when you're headlining and there's the pressure on you to be able to pack a venue, you have to do a really good job, because people are not going to come in large numbers if you're not doing a good representation of what you're doing. You have to sound like, they have to believe you're that band. There has to be an excitement and anticipation. Kind of like what it used to be like when I was a kid standing in line buying tickets to see my favorite bands. There has to be that anticipation. And it's quite a challenge doing this, and doing it to this level, because you not only do you have to be a very high level singer, which is what I do on this, of course it's obvious, but you also have to be an actor. And that's something that I've never really taken lessons or anything. I've always been a teach yourself how to do it. And just like when I first started Appetite, I didn't really sound like Axl. To be honest with you, I had to work on it, and it was something that I had to work on for quite a few years before I even started sounding like Axl. And over the years, I've never really stopped trying to improve, and even to this day, I still work on it and trying to add more things to what I do to sound like him, or he does this, so now I'm going to work on this. I'm strong at this, but I'm not as strong at that, and working on all these different things. So it's quite an experience. It's not just being like a cover band and just getting up there and playing your version of a group of songs. You really have to put things under a microscope, and you have to be really good at multiple things. You can't just be good at one thing. You have to be good at many things, and the more things you're good at, the higher your value goes, and then the more people are getting excited about coming to your shows because they really feel like they're enjoying the experience of seeing Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.